It's always tough to follow that video. I'm not quite sporty enough to do it justice. Welcome, guys. I'm John Schilling. I think I have met most of you, if not all. Relatively new to the Volkswagen brand. I've been here about a half a year now. I came from the Audi brand. But welcome again. We got a great venue for you guys. We got a great car for you to drive tomorrow. Great roads. I think you'll have a lot of fun. You'll get a lot out of this. Just real quick, I'm going to make some introductions. I'm going to go over a little bit of the housekeeping, what you guys are going to see and do over the next 12, 24 hours. And then I'm going to turn it over to Mike Klopentowski, who will do the presentation on the car. I don't know if you've all met Hans Stuck back here. Good evening. Who's had a very successful motorsports career. If you don't know him, he's going to come up at the end and give you a little bit of background on the car and what he's doing now for the Volkswagen Group, which is some of the development of great cars like the Golf R. Mark Gillies, who's in our PR group, is here. Mike Klopentowski, who, like I said, will give the presentation, is in our product planning group. He oversees the entire Golf family, including the Golf R. Daryl Harrison's here from our West Coast office, and I think you all know Tori, who has done a great job putting this program together for us here this week. Just real quick, after this we will go upstairs to have dinner. It's real casual, real informal. It's not a sit-down dinner. Tomorrow morning, bring your luggage down, and we'll either bring it out to the lunch spot if you're departing from there, or we'll have it, we'll hold it for you here if you're coming back here after the drive. We'll leave here about 8:30. I encourage you to find a partner tonight or tomorrow morning to go on the drive with. We can help facilitate that as well if need be. We'll go up to Julian, where we'll have lunch. We'll have loops up there with cars for about an hour or two while we have lunch, and then we come back, unless you're departing from the lunch venue, which you should have been told that already. There is no embargo on anything you're going to hear today. There's no embargo on the driving impressions that you'll have tomorrow. We have a presentation that, like I said, we'll show you tonight. We'll email that to you, so you'll get a copy of it. There's also more photos of the car up on our website, additional photos that we shot earlier before the program. I think that's it. Did I miss anything, Mark? Anything else? So with that, I'm going to throw it over to Mike. Go through the car.
Thank you. Well, welcome everybody. As John said, Mike Klopentowski. I work as a product planner for the Golf family. I'm just going to give you guys a quick overview of the car and some of the history behind it. You guys should be out here by 10 o'clock.
Eastern time, right?
No, just real quick, kind of the heritage behind Golf R. Really, the motorsports and the racing heritage of Golf started at the very first generation. So with the Mark I back in 1981, that was almost 200 horsepower a car back then, which is pretty impressive for 1981. But that car ended up winning some rallies and some racing in Germany, which led to the second generation in 1988 with the Mark II Golf Rally, which used a synchro system. That was the first time that we introduced all-wheel drive to Golf, and actually that was homologized for the street. So there was a supercharged four-cylinder all-wheel drive Golf, and that's what really started everything. With the third generation, that's when we brought the six-cylinder, the VR6, to Golf. So that was actually the first compact car to offer a six-cylinder that was still with the synchro all-wheel drive system. And then with the fourth generation, that's the first time when we offered this newer generation of 4Motion that we have now in the Golf R, with a six-cylinder engine with Mark IV. So that was in a Golf. It's called the Golf 4Motion. And then in 2004, in the US, we introduced the first R32. So that started the whole kind of tie-in with our GmbH and motorsports with the Mark IV. So that was a 3.2 liter VR6 still engine, 4-motion manual transmission, 240 horsepower, and that really started this whole Golf R, R32 enthusiasm, and really started building up this enthusiast group behind this kind of performance golfs. So 4th generation was, like I said, 240 horsepower manual transmission. 5th generation, we actually brought to the US, DSGs in this car, 250 horsepower at that time. So those two cars, 4th and 5th, were about 5,000 cars that we ended up selling. And then the 6th generation is the first time we introduced 4-cylinder turbocharged engine with all-wheel drive. So that was the car that we introduced in 2012. We actually ended up exceeding our expectations in terms of sales. There was a lot of enthusiasm behind the car. We ended up selling 500 more than we had allocated for the US, so we sold 5,500 cars in 2012 and 2013. Which takes us to the Golf 7, the car that you see outside here today and that you get to drive tomorrow. The big news really is the horsepower and the performance of the engine. 4th, 5th, 6th generation was 240, 250, 256, always a little bit potentially lacking behind some of the competition in terms of horsepower. This is a really big evolution from that. 292 horsepower now, 280 foot-pounds of torque, so we're very competitive in terms of performance. The latest 5th generation of 4-motion now, so it's lighter. The whole system's lighter, it's quicker reacting. It'll be a 4-door only for the US. However, it'll be the first time that we're going to offer both transmissions. So like I mentioned, 4th generation was manual only, then we went to DSG. People always like to be able to have both options. So this will be the first time we're going to offer DSG and manual. You'll get to drive US spec DSG cars. That's what we're going to launch with. And then a couple months later, we'll bring the manual transmissions as well. So we'll offer both in the market. And I mean, this will be the fastest, most powerful production golf ever. So with the DSG transmission, 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds, which is pretty impressive performance numbers for a car in this segment. Just a quick overview of the competitors. We're in a unique situation in that we're now the only hatchback in this segment. So STI went to sedan only, so we're the only car that offers a hatchback in this 4-cylinder, 300 horsepower all-wheel drive segment. But we really see the main cross-shopping being STI, and then a little bit from some of the other German brands like the M235 and the CLA 45 as well. In terms of design, it's based on Golf 7, so all the design cues from the Golf 7 in terms of very strong influence from the Mark 1 and the Mark 4 with the strong C-pillar design. But then everything that came with MQB, the shorter overhangs, wider, lower, gives it really that muscular stance. And then some of the unique bits on the car compared to GTI are unique front and rear bumpers, the quad exhaust in the rear. Be offering 19-inch wheels for the first time on golf for the US. So bi-xenon headlights will be standard. You can see on the car in the lobby there, it's got the unique 2 kind of DRLs, which kind of sets the car apart from the outside. You can tell it's a Golf R because it has both of those DRLs. Somebody that knows will definitely know right away. So those are some of the things, aside from the interior bits as well, that will set it apart from a GTI. Real quick, same thing as Golf 7 and GTI 7 that we just introduced. It'll be lighter, more spacious inside, wider, which is big. So the number that you actually see here is a manual transmission, which will be coming with for the model year 16 car, but that's just comparing apples to apples, manual versus manual. It is lighter than the previous generation. In terms of the engine, it's based on the EA888, which we just introduced the 3rd generation in the GTI with a 210 or 220 horsepower in the performance package. It's based off of that engine, but it kind of goes through a motorsports type of development program with a different turbocharger, a cylinder head, Still has the variable valve timing on the intake and exhaust, variable valve lift on the exhaust, but just goes through kind of a motorsports type of development program to get it up to 292 horsepower, 280 pounds of torque, which is up from, if you look at a GTI performance pack, 220. Pretty significant improvements there. All this while still having a focus on fuel efficiency and fuel economy. So this car is rated at 30 mpg highway, which is up 3 mpg from the Golf 6R. In terms of pricing and standard equipment, we're basically going to offer the car with 2 trim levels, a standard trim and then a higher trim. Standard on every Golf R. The base car will get 18-inch alloy wheels, leather seating on everything, climatronic on everything. The driving mode selection, which definitely make sure that cars that you drive tomorrow, you get to play with that. That allows you to adjust the steering assist, the throttle response, and the DSGs, the shift program on the DSG. So definitely make sure you try that, and as well with the GCC car, which I'll get into in a second, it allows you to adjust the suspension as well, but that'll be standard on all the cars, same as on GTI. Power driver's seat, first time, they'll be offering that on everything. And then the LED daytime running lights. So the car will start at $36,595 for a DSG in the model year 15.
Not including
Destination?
Destination is 820.
820.
On top of that, yeah. 800. The other trim, the higher trim, which you'll also get to experience both tomorrow, the car with GCC and navigation. It adds a 19-inch alloy wheels, which you can see on the car outside here, the white car. Navigation, same MIB navigation system or infotainment system that's in the Golf and GTI, so the base car gets the same radio that you get in the base GTI, and then the navigation system is the same thing that you've been able to experience in the GTI. Front and rear parking sensors, and then for the first time we're offering adaptive suspension on the car. So like I said, definitely try to experience that tomorrow. If you can't leave in the car with that here, then they'll be available at the stock tomorrow. Hans had a lot to do with the development of that and chassis development, so you can really experience a dedicated development program to having a really nice blend between being able to put the car in comfort mode, drive it through the city and have a comfortable car, but then also put it into race mode and have a really track dedicated car as well. So definitely check that out tomorrow. And then Fender Premium Audio, that's something that we offer on a lot of our other cars as well. That'll be on the top trim car. That'll be $39.90 with a DSG transmission, also $820 on top of that for destination. In terms of chassis and suspension, again, like I mentioned, Hans is here, so he had a lot to do with that. But we have variable ratio and variable assist steering like we do in the GTI. So different ratios when you're just off center, but also different ratios when you need to maneuver in the city and all that. In terms of ride height, it's 0.8 inches lower than standard Golf, so 0.2 inches lower than GTI. We've got the bigger brakes from the GTI performance package, so 13-inch brakes on the front, 12-inch on the rear, vented on both sides. The only unique thing here between the performance package GTI is that you have the black calipers with the R logo on them, as opposed to the red on the GTI. And then another big win for us with this latest generation is a fully defeatable stability control system. So kind of answering to the enthusiasts and you guys as well. We finally introduced that to the US, so the cars you drive tomorrow, you can just hold down the ESC button for 3 seconds and that'll fully disengage, but that's only for track use, of course. So, of course, I use that too. In terms of 4Motion, latest generation, 5th generation of 4Motion, lighter, much faster reacting. We've got the electronic differential locks on the front and rear. And then also XDS Plus, which is a similar system to what we have in GTI to cope with understeer. Tomorrow on these roads that you're going to get to drive on, and definitely get to experience all of this. I think all the feedback's been that really no understeer. If you've got it, put it in the race mode and really get to enjoy the car out here on the road. So definitely use that. Safety, same thing that with the Golf that we just introduced on MQB. All that gets carried over to the Golf R. So a lot more use of ultra high strength steel, automatic post collision braking standard on everything. So this will mitigate a secondary collision in case you're in a collision. Airbags get deployed. It'll help bring the car to a stop unless as soon as it's sensed that the driver's doing something with the car, it'll turn off, but for the most part, it'll just try to bring the car to a stop if nothing else happens. So that's a big safety feature that we're offering with all Golfs, and that'll carry over to Golf R. And then also with standard bi-xenons, all Golf Rs get the bi-xenon headlights with adaptive front lighting, so when you come around turns, the headlights will turn. Same thing with drive mode selection, you can actually put that on, you can adjust that, so you can have a sport mode where the lights will turn quicker as you're coming around turns, so that's definitely, tomorrow I'll be driving in the daytime, but it's another safety feature that we have with the car. So I'm almost done. In summary, car is going to go on sale at the end of next month. We actually did a pre-order for the car, 500 cars. It went live at the beginning of January around midnight, and all 500 spots sold out by 11 a.m. So we actually had a couple enthusiasts that we invited over today, a couple pre-order guys that came out here to see the cars. There's a lot of pent-up demand, very enthusiastic about the car, so we're definitely looking forward to getting this car out into the market. As I mentioned, most powerful, fastest production Golf ever, so with 292 horsepower, 280 foot-pounds of torque. This is a really big evolution from the previous generation, and really a competitive car in terms of performance now. Like I mentioned, all the features that come with Golf 7, lighter, bigger, more spacious on the inside, shorter overhangs, all those benefits that we have with Golf and GTI that we just introduced are coming with this car as well. It's more fuel efficient, so 30 mpg highway, like I mentioned, pretty big improvement over the previous car. MQB, all the benefits of MQB, North American Car of the Year, everything that came with that in terms of technologies that we're offering, the value that we're offering with the car, all that versatility and everything comes with the Golf R. First time we're offering 2 transmissions, which is huge for us, both manual and DSG, and then it'll be available in 5 colors. So definitely excited about this car. I'll be here tonight for dinner, and then tomorrow as well while you guys are driving the car. So if you have any questions for me, super technical, give me time and I'll get the answers for you. But I'll do my best to get you everything that you need. So enjoy the cars tomorrow, and any questions?
Yes, the manual transmission, is that a no-cost option?
Actually, the manual transmission will be around $1,100 less expensive.
And when will it go on sale?
So it'll go on sale as a model year 16, so summertime.
So none of those are part of the pre-order process?
Not pre-order.
On the stability control that's defeatable, is that defeatable sort of piece by piece, or is it all or nothing?
Well, there's 2 different